Hello, everybody. I'm Jeff with eBay Addicts, and today I'm here with Shane Rosengrind-Picker. How are you doing today, Shane?
Good, man. How are you?
Oh man, I'm excited, guys. So if you guys don't know, if you're new here, me and Shane have been talking for like 6 months now about starting a podcast, and it's finally here. We've been trying to get on the same page, so we're finally here. So if you guys don't know who I am, my name is Jeff, and I live in Tampa, and I am a eBay reseller, and I still work a regular job. I work as a courier, and I deliver medical equipment. And then when I'm not doing that, and I'm not shooting YouTube videos, I'm selling stuff on eBay, and that's pretty much what I do whenever I have free time. And right now, I have 6,500 items that are active listed on eBay. And my goal is to try to get to 10,000 items active on my main eBay store. So, Shane, you want to introduce yourself just in case our audience doesn't know who you are?
Yeah, so my name is Shane, and I go by the Rosengrind-Picker on YouTube, and I sell on Amazon and eBay mainly, dabble on Walmart.com. And for the most part, I'm a full-time reseller, and I went full-time about 2 years ago. And it's definitely tough, but that's why me and Jeff are building, that's why we built this podcast. Why we're doing this is to help people and to kind of give them an accurate snapshot on what you could be up against, full-time reselling or part-time reselling or reselling in general. So it's going to be fun. And so subscribe to both of our channels. We're going to build a playlist. So you're definitely going to want to subscribe to Jeff and me. And then we're going to build a playlist with all the episodes in it. So.
Yeah, man. So if you guys get a chance, all the links are going to be in the description below. So you can go ahead and follow Shane on YouTube and Instagram. So Shane is a full-time reseller. He lives in Illinois, and he resells on eBay, Amazon, and Walmart. So he stays really busy doing that. It's his full-time gig. And so I think that's about it as far as the introductions go. So today, what we were going to talk about, we were going to start talking a little bit about eBay for beginners. I actually got started. If people ask me all the time how I got started in reselling, I was actually a forklift driver, and I was working for General Electric, and I was driving a forklift. And one day I was actually listening to a podcast / YouTube video similar to this, and there was a guy there, and his name was GillDaddy. And he was showing how him and his wife were going to the Goodwill bins, and they would find things at the Goodwill bins, and he would load up the back of his van, and he would have, $1,000, $1,500 worth of merchandise of stuff they were going to resell on eBay. And so I was like, dude, there's no way. There's got to be a trick. There's got to be something to this, because I'm working in this 100-degree factory, and I'm driving a forklift, and I'm here working 50, 60 hours a week in this 100-degree heat driving a forklift. And I'm like, man, there's some weeks after they take out everything out of my check for union dues, taxes, health insurance, 401k, state, local, federal taxes, all this stuff to take out of my check. I'm not even clearing $1,000 to $1,500 a week. So I'm like, there's no way. There's got to be a trick to this. So I watched the video 2-3 times. And ever since I watched this video, this is probably 2015, 2016, I've been reselling ever since. The next day, went out to Goodwill, started hunting and scavenging, looking for items. I was run around and start scanning barcodes like this and look for items that I could buy for a low price and sell it for a higher price on eBay. And I've pretty much been hooked on eBay ever since. And, the great thing about eBay is that if you're a college student, you could do eBay. If you're you're a single mom, maybe you're a stay-at-home mom and you have time to drop the kids off in the morning and then pick the kids up in the afternoon, you can do eBay while the kids are at school. If you wanted to do full-time like Shane does, you can literally make a full-time income from eBay. If maybe if you have a full-time job and you want to do eBay part-time on the sides on nights and weekends and whenever you have downtime, you can do it as a side hustle. Like Shane, tell them how much money you made last year in 2020 doing eBay as your full-time gig.
So I made profit out the door, $138,000.
Yeah, and so if you guys. And he did, that's the great thing about eBay is you don't have to, it's not like you don't need 20 years experience. You don't have to have a college degree. You can all you need is a little bit of hustle and a little bit of motivation. And you can start from where you are right now and with your smartphone, an app on your phone, and just going out and hitting up yard sales and estate sales and thrift stores and start looking for merchandise. Matter of fact, a lot of people have merchandise of items like this just laying around their house that if they just took few minutes out of the day and looked around, they would find items that they can flip and resell on eBay. So, Shane, do you want to kind of talk real quick about how you got started in eBay real quick? Because I know we're going to get messages about it later.
Yeah. So I got started in a kind of an odd way. So here's a snapshot. I started selling on eBay in 2006. Okay, I just dabbled. I was selling some sports cards and some stuff that I had personally that I just, you know how everybody starts in eBay. Oh, I bought this and now I don't want it. I'm going to sell it on eBay. And that's how I started. And I took a lot of time off. So I went to college. I have an associate's degree in criminal justice, finished my bachelor's degree, have a bachelor's degree in criminal law. Was going to go to law school. About 10 I'm about 10 semester hours away from a master's degree in criminal law. And I worked in law enforcement for several years. And then I went into retail, and I did 10 years in retail and corporate retail and loss prevention and loss prevention management and stuff like that. So kind of how I started is I had a job in retail working for the Bon-Ton stores as a loss prevention manager. And I worked for them for 5 years. The pay sucked really bad starting out. So me and my wife, we were kind of living paycheck to paycheck. We had a lot of credit card debt. We had a lot of debt, like most Americans do. They have a lot of debt, and we did as well. We lived paycheck to paycheck. And so I had $20 in my savings account, and I took the $20 and I said, I'm going to start selling on eBay. And she looked at me like I was absolutely stupid. She's like, the what? So I used our garage, and I just started going to thrift stores with the $20, buying whatever I could find that would sell for profit. And I would just roll that money back into eBay, back into inventory. And I did that. And then I found Amazon, and I started selling on Amazon the same way. And I hit a couple really good scores, made $3,000 or $4,000. And then you fast forward to 8 years later, I'm full time. And it took me a lot of years to build it up. I mean, it took me 8 years of working a full-time job and working pretty much full-time eBay and reselling and Amazon to do that. And Amazon made me enough money where I could kind of break away and start doing more eBay. And so, yeah, and we close on our warehouse September 16th. So
Man.
It just kind of, it's one of those things where you put in the work and you get what you get out of it.
Yeah. Well, it's the way it works. With eBay, you only get paid on commission, and you only get paid on commission. So the good and bad is that's the way it works. So you're whenever you make a sell, you're only going to get paid on commission. So whenever that's the way it's kind of set up, and so you just want to kind of get used to it, and then kind of post an item on eBay, list it, sell it, pack it, ship it, and then you just kind of reinvest your dividends or reinvest some of your money back in your business, and then do it again. And then over a period of time, you start growing and scaling your business. Like, we didn't even get a chance to talk about it much, but Shane's in the process of buying a big commercial building, a big warehouse to store all of his eBay merchandise. So he's going to be able to scale, and you can scale this business up as further and as fast and as much as you want to, but it may take some time because you're not going to start out like Shane didn't start out his first year making $130,000 a year on eBay. Nobody starts out there. Everybody starts out at the beginning, and that's what we're here to talk about today. Everybody starts at the beginning, and everybody starts at zero, and so everybody starts off with zero listings, and you can do this as long as you're willing to hustle and you're willing to put the work in. You're going to get out of it what you're willing to put in it, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And I think when we talk like reselling in general, like part of the reason that we're getting the building is, yeah, we have a lot, like all these totes are eBay. So we have a little over 3,000 items, like 3,300 listed on eBay right now. But another part of the reason we're getting the building is so we can start merchant fulfilling more on Amazon and really leveraging merchant fulfilled stuff. Because that's just an undervalued asset to a lot of resellers. And I did a lot of FBA last year, and it's where most of my money came from was FBA. I think out of the 130 some thousand I made, I had 500,000 in total sales. Almost, it was like 450,000 ish, and about 38,000 came from eBay. The rest of it was Amazon. And this year it's going to be flip flopped. So most of it's going to be eBay, but I took a break out of Amazon to build that side of the business up. And then I'm going to go, when I get the warehouse, I'm going to go back into Amazon. So I think realistically, I played it safe. I played it really safe. And I did not quit my job until I had about a year's worth of salary saved up. And then I broke away and went full time. But I played it really safe for a lot of years. I was actually the year before I went full time, I was selling 10,000 a month on Amazon before, and I was still working a full-time job.
Yeah, but if you guys heard what Shane said, he started off with $20. He didn't have some, crazy, and he didn't have a rich uncle that passed away and left him a bunch of money as an inheritance. He didn't have any kind of, aunt, uncle, cousin, nephew, brothers, sisters, cousin, somebody to come by and loan you some money. And that's the great thing about eBay is that, even if you only have $20 or $100, $200 to your name and you want to get started, you can get started with right where you are right now. And you don't need a bunch of upfront capital. It's not like you're buying, a Starbucks franchise or something. You don't need to have a bunch of employees. You don't need a bunch of startup capital to get started. You just, the first thing that I think you should probably do is just download the eBay app. And then once you download the eBay app, you just start looking around your house and seeing what you have laying around. I'm sure you have some clothing, maybe you got some presents for your birthday or Christmas that's still new in the box and you never opened it. Maybe it's some pajamas that you never wore. Maybe you have some CDs or DVDs or video games or Blu-rays, stuff just laying around the house. You can download the eBay app and just start scanning barcodes like this around your house and just look and see what's out there, what's available, before you go out and even spend a bunch of money. Just see what you have laying around your house.
Realistically, most people have a ton of stuff laying around their house because since we live in the United States, we overbuy and we waste a lot of stuff. So a lot of people, like everybody collects something, right? Like everybody collects something. Everybody has a collection of something. Start listing some of that stuff and, start listing if you got kids and, kids grow out of stuff. They grow out of stuff so much. Start listing some of their old toys on eBay. If they're good, you can look them up right on eBay. You can type what they are in. You can look up the solds and just make sure you're going to make money after the shipping. And if you are, then list them up,
Yeah, guys. So it's free. The first thing that I would recommend you do is just download the eBay app. I don't know if you guys can see it. It looks just like that. It's just a little eBay app. Just download the free app, have it on your phone. And then once you have this smartphone on your app, you can just start scanning barcodes. I'll try to do it real quick so you guys can see how easy it is, right? So here's a barcode. Here's my eBay seller app. I'll just do it right here on the stream. I just scanned this barcode. As you guys can see, this one is called Del Rey, okay? Now, as you can see right here, we're looking up sold comps. You can see one right here. It's listed for $20.
Yeah.
And then what you can do is you're going to click right here on the filter, go right here under show more, and then you can look right here under the sold and completed listings, okay? This is what you want to do. And then when you click on the sold completed listings, you click right here, it shows one result. So as you can see, that's highlighted in green, and one actually sold for $20. So this particular item, I picked this up, I think at a pawn shop. I paid 50 cents for it. So it's just using this as an example so you can see, and that's how you look up sold comps. You're just going to take this that quickly, just as quickly as I showed you guys. Scan the barcode, click under sold completed listings. It'll show you how many of them sold in the past 90 days. So you have a good knowledge and idea of, is this item going to be profitable? And to me, eBay is very simple. You're going to buy low and sell high. You're going to buy at a lower price. You're going to sell it at a higher price. So it can't get any easier than that. And with eBay, like I said, it's a very low barrier to entry. You don't need a bunch of employees. You don't need a bunch of startup capital to get started. Just download the app and just, like I said, just look around. I'm sure you have items laying around your house. Like if you're like me, you have old CDs. You have maybe some tennis shoes or some boots that somebody gifted you as a present and you never wore them. Or maybe you have stuff that you used to wear and you don't wear anymore. And, you're not gated like you are on other platforms like Amazon. And you can just start listing items and just post them online. I mean, just literally anything. Like I picked these shoes up at Ross. You can list shoes like the cleats. If you want to sell electronics, I sell stuff like this. This is a CD Walkman. You can start off with little small items. It doesn't have to be anything big or expensive. The thing is just to get started, you know?
Well, and here's the thing. If you don't have a lot of stuff around your house, like, you know, if you are living in a small apartment and you really don't have a lot of stuff, or if you know, whatever your situation is, call your parents and be like, hey, you guys got anything that you don't want? And, you know, call family members and ask them, hey, do you have anything that you want me to take off your hands because you don't want it anymore? And most of the time they will. You know, I mean, your parents will help you out 100%. And I mean, my parents are not rich. I grew up pretty poor. And you know, eBay was a way for me to kind of break the generational curse of like, hey, work a 9-to-5 job, retire, die, whatever. So, you know, call your parents up and be your mom or your dad and be like, hey, do you have anything that you don't want anymore that you want to get rid of?
Yeah, telling people what you do and what type of items that you're looking for, that can help you get pointed in the right direction. But literally, there's no shortage of merchandise, guys. I mean, there's yard sales, estate sales, retail arbitrage, online arbitrage, pawn shops, estate sales. Like, there's literally merchandise everywhere. The whole trick is just getting it for a lower price and selling it for a higher price. It can't get any easier than that. And that's basically, in a nutshell, what you're going to do. You're going to go out, look for merchandise, get it at a lower price, and selling it for a higher price. And
when
then,
I first started,
once the item.
Go ahead. When I first started reselling, I went to a ton of garage sales because it's very cheap. People generally, if they have it in a garage sale, they want to get rid of it. And it's very cheap. Like, I don't know. The most I've ever paid at a garage sale for something, I really don't know. But I've bought a lot of items for $1 to $5 and sold them for 20 to 100. And so that's a really good way to start out. But I think as you grow, like bigger and bigger, I think garage sales are not plausible. But just starting out, I think that you can go to garage sales and make a decent amount of money.
Well, there's all type of stuff you'll find at garage sales, and most of, like Shane said, most of the items you're going to get are going to be $5, $10, $15 or less. And every once in a while you'll come across something and it'll be worth your time. But a lot of times, you're going to go there and you're going to find 3, 4, 5 items, 10 items if you're lucky, and then you go on to the next place. But I mean, if you can get items and you're paying a quarter, 50 cents, $1 for items, you have hardly any money tied up in the merchandise. And you can afford to do that. You can go and say, hey, for this, I'm going to go yard selling for today, and I'm taking $50 with me. And then that could be your Saturday morning. And you get up at 7, 8 o'clock in the morning, you go till noon, and you just ride around and look for different yard sales in your neighborhood, and you'll find a ton of merchandise. Sometimes I hear from a lot of people, they don't have a problem finding merchandise. It's just getting all the stuff listed,
Yep. Well, and I think starting out, like when you start reselling, I think the main question you have to ask yourself is, what platform do you want to start on? So I have a method that when you start reselling, you should not sell on more than 2 platforms. 2 platforms is all. You pick 2 and you stick with them and do not deviate from that.
I would recommend just starting on eBay. If you guys don't know, last year in 2020 or recently, they had 187 million active buyers that were on the platform. That means they hit the cart, they checked out and bought something in the past 12 months. It's 187 million active buyers that's on the platform. And it's not like Amazon where you're going to start off being gated in different categories. So you're going to have I'm not hating on any of the other platforms. If you want to do Macari or Poshmark or one of these other ones, that's great. But if you look at the scale of active users, active buyers on the eBay platform, and then you compare it to Macari or Poshmark or one of the other ones, they're here. eBay's way up here as far as active users on the platform. So I would just start off with eBay. And like I said, guys, when I first had to start watching YouTube videos and I started seeing people saying, hey, I'm making $1,000, $1,500 a week selling stuff on eBay, I was like, bro, there's got to be something to this. And so I've been on the platform ever since. So you just got to get out there. You'll find merchandise as you go along, but I would just recommend starting off with eBay. Like I said, just download the app. It's a free app, and just start looking around your house. And if you get started and you only list 10, 15, 20 items, that's okay. A couple of things that I want to caution you guys about is when you're first getting started on eBay, there are going to probably put a limit on how many items you can list on your eBay store. And when you first make a sale, they're probably going to hold the money on your account. All right. Because you're a brand new seller. They don't know who you are. You're trying to build up a rapport. You're trying to build up a relationship with eBay. So you're starting out with 0 items, 0 feedback, 0 sales. So those are a couple of things that you're going to encounter when you first start selling. You're going to encounter some things like that. You want to go through and say, okay, how can you get feedback in your eBay store, right? So you can go on there and you could start buying stuff inexpensively. I bought stuff online on eBay from China, and it could be like a little sticky notepads. It could be an ink pen. It could be stickers, just small, inexpensive items you could get for a quarter, 50 cents, $1, and you're going to start building up your feedback on eBay. And then don't take it personal. When you start making sales and eBay holds on to your money, they do it to everybody. It's not just you. They do it to everybody. You're kind of like just like when you start a new job, you're kind of eBay's putting you on probation. They want to make sure that you're going to be a trustworthy seller on the eBay platform. And then, there's going to be eBay listing limits. And then as you list more items, if they give you 50 or 100 items that you can list, just max out that listing. Just max it out. And at the end of the 30 days, after you've shown and you're like, hey, I've had 100% positive feedback. I've shipped out all my items on time. Everything is going well with my eBay store. Just call them up. And usually 9 times out of 10, they'll raise up your listing limits. But I'm just cautioning you guys because I started a new store from scratch lately, and those are going to be things you're going to encounter. Go ahead, Shane.
Well, absolutely. And I think another thing is, when you have low feedback and you start an eBay store, I would advise you not to list like a bunch of crazy high-priced items because scammers do prey. I mean, there's scammers on Amazon, there's scammers on Mercari, there's scammers on Poshmark. There's scammers at Walmart. So inside the store, every place is going to attract scammers. And one thing you got to realize is when you have 0 feedback, you attract scammers a little bit more because you have no feedback. So build your feedback up, sell some mediocre, bread and butter items, at $20 or so, $15 to $20 a pop. Build your feedback up. And then after you get some feedback under your belt, then you can start listing those crazy high profit items or the higher end items. I just would caution you to build the feedback up before you list a lot of them.
Yeah. So in the meantime, you're waiting your 30 days and you're trying to get eBay in order to raise your listing limits. But in the meantime, there are things you can do. I would try to get my goal when I started my new eBay store. I wanted to get my feedback score up over 100. That's what my goal was because people don't know who I am. And if me and Shane both have the same exact, let's say me and Shane both have the same exact item listed. We both have the same exact item listed and we have it for the same price, same color, same model, same everything. On the back, you can see this little model number. And so if we both have the same exact item listed and I have 10 feedback and Shane has 1,000, usually 9 times out of 10, they're going to go with Shane. Even if he, because he has feedback, they're going to think this guy has more positive feedback in his store. He's experienced. He knows what he's doing. They know that they're not going to get their items not going to arrive damaged. They're not going to have any issues. And if they do have any issues, they know that Shane's going to take care of them because he's going to say, hey, I have 100% feedback. I've got 1,000 feedback of items that I sold in my store. And it's just kind of like it's your reputation because they don't know you in person. It's like they have no way of knowing you. You're online. You're just, you're basically, a stranger. So you want to build back positive feedback in your store. So I would try to focus on getting some momentum, getting your feedback built up over 100. That's what I would say. And then, like I said, max out your listings. If they give you 50, if they give you 100 listings, max out your listings. And then another thing, you're just going to have to wait. Some of the stuff takes time. Like when they put handcuffs on you when you first get started and they're going to hold money in your account, they do that to everybody. They're just going to have to take time. You're going to have to wait for your restrictions to be lifted off your account. And so just be patient with it because remember, we're in this for the long haul. We want to have the stream of income coming in from eBay every week, every month for the rest of your life. At least I do. I want to have this extra stream of income coming in month after month after month after month after month. It's not just like a one-time thing where I'm going to just hit a home run and hit it out of the park and now I'm done. You
Well,
want to have. Go ahead.
and let's face it though. Okay, let's face it though. Anything. So this isn't like get rich quick, and a lot of people they think it is when they see an eBay video or an Amazon video. They're like, I can get rich now. It's not like that. It takes time. And not only does it take time, it takes a lot of work up front so you can start making money on the back end down the road.
Yeah, like Shane said, when he was getting started, he had like a whole year of him still working his full-time job and doing eBay on the side because he had to build up his store level to a certain sustainable point where he was generating enough revenue where he could pay all his bills off of eBay. But he only started out with $20. So that's a great thing about eBay is you have a low barrier to entry. If you only have $20 or $50 or $100, just start with where you are right now. You could get started, but I wouldn't just right off the bat just say I'm going to rest on my laurels. Like Shane said, he did 130,000 last year, but he didn't start off that way. So think about it almost as if you're building a house. You want to have a foundation to your house, and then you're going to go and have the next thing. You're going to frame the house. You don't start off at the roof and having water and electrical and all that stuff in there. You're going to build up a little foundation first, and then you're going to slowly expand as it goes along. But I mean, it's definitely doable. I mean, I talk to people every week that make a full-time income off of eBay.
Well, and when I'm listing stuff, I'm not listing to sell it that day. I'm listing to I know it's going to sell. I have a time frame in my mind of about when it's going to sell, but you don't know 100%. I mean, obviously you can promote your listings on eBay, which is a more advanced topic that we'll get into, later down the road, but you can do all the stuff to help it sell, but it's not going to sell that day, the same day. So that money you're listing to sell down the road. So, kind of like what I do is like when I had 1,000 listings in my store, I was selling X amount a day. And and what I did was I sat down and I said, okay, if I list 3,000 items, how many items am I going to sell a day? If I'm selling 5 a day now, or 2 a day, or 10 a week, and I 3 times that, what am I going to sell? And if you're listing good stuff and you're listing stuff that sells regularly, you're going to make the sales 100%.
Yeah, and one thing that I didn't talk about much yet is that you can look up, we talked about sold comps on eBay. You can look up the items before you buy them, and it'll show you how many of them are actively listed on the site, how many of them have sold in the past 90 days. So when I just showed you a minute ago, like with this DVD, there was 2 listed and 1 sold in the past 90 days. So that way you can kind of get an idea of what your sell-through rate is of the item. So you're not just picking stuff up blind and saying, oh, this item is $1 and I can sell it for $20. Okay, well, when is it going to sell? What is the sell-through rate of that particular item in the past 90 days? How many of them have sold? Because sometimes you may be at a yard sale or a thrift store or estate sale. You pick up this item for $1 and you think, oh, great, I can sell it for $20, $30. Well, how long do you have to hold on to that item? Could you look and see the sales history of how many of this particular item is actually sold in the past 90 days? And if none have sold for the past 90 days, maybe have second thoughts about picking it up. You want to be sure that you can say, hey, this item does have a sales track history of selling on a regular basis. XYZ, many of them have sold over 90 days. So I feel comfortable picking this item up to resell to make a profit. So you're not going in blind. It's not like you're swinging at a piñata with a blindfold on and hoping that an item sells. You want to use the technology to your advantage.
What I like to do too is and a lot of YouTube videos, they don't talk about this, is check the active listings as well, because I check the solds and I check the actives, because if there's 100 items listed at $3.99, and trust me, you're going to see that, then odds are it's probably not going to sell at $8 anytime soon. So that would tell me not to buy that item. And that's why you got to look at solds and actives. I think actives are very important to look at.
Yeah, and like Shane said earlier, every time you list an item, it's not going to sell instantaneously. And when I'm listing an item on eBay, just for this item, for example, let's say if it's a $20 item and I listed this item on my eBay store, I'm thinking about basically depositing a check into my eBay bank account, right? Just like how you would deposit your payroll paycheck in the bank. So I'm depositing this paycheck into my bank account, into my eBay bank account, and then you're just waiting for it. And then when you hear ka-ching, you know your check's cleared the bank.
Right.
There's some of these people that have been so stressed out about not making sales and some are slow down. And I'm just like, bro, fourth quarter's right around the corner. It's going to happen. The sales are going to come. Like, don't panic. It's going to be okay. You know?
Right.
So just be of that mindset of, hey, if it's August and it's July and it's the middle of the summer and I'm listing the item now, it may not sell till September, October, November, December. It may not. It's not the end of the world. It's okay. And there's so many other things that we wanted to talk about. I wanted to get into how Shane goes about storing his items. And there's so many things left that we need to talk about. But Shane, we're doing a two-part series. So I think we're going to put a book into this. This is going to be part one, and part two is going to be on Shane's channel, Rise and Grind Picker. We're going to do part two there. So do you have anything else you would like to add? Kind of like sum this video up, Shane?
Me and Jeff are also down the road going to invite guests on the podcast. So down in the chat, if you want to see someone on this podcast that you like, maybe you have a favorite YouTuber, go ahead and put their YouTube channel down in the chat, because we always love finding new people in this community, and we would love to have them on the podcast down the road. So definitely.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, we'd already talked about bringing on new guests. So if you guys have a particular guest, or also if you have questions, if you're confused about something or you need help, you can drop questions in the comment section, and we're going to have a segment where we're going to answer your questions. So if you need help, or you're just like, hey, I've created this account, I'm having XYZ issue, I had a customer return, I'm having this issue, you leave it in the comment section, and we're going to do this every week. And so we'll have a segment where we answer viewer questions as well. So this is part one, episode one, and then part two is going to be on Shane's channel. All the link to his channel is going to be down in the description below. So hopefully I will see you guys over there. Till then, I'll see you guys in part two. Bye, guys.
See ya.